Atomic Habits, one of the most respected book in the self-help genre. Why I'm saying so? Because this book teaches you things that you can apply in your daily life. अगर आपने अभी तक एक भी बुक नहीं पढ़ा है तो आप अपने अंदर रीडिंग की हैबिट लाने के लिए भी इस बुक को पढ़ सकते हैं. This book will tell you everything about habits, like how our habits are formed, how to make our good habits stick to our daily routine, how our habit helps us to achieve our goal, and so on. So if you are someone who has read this book, well and good. But if you haven't, I hope this video gives you a reason to pick this amazing book up. Now without wasting any of your time, let's get started. First, let's discuss the meaning of atomic habits. Atomic means an extremely small amount of thing, and habit is a routine that you perform regularly. So this title, Atomic Habit, shows us how our small habit help us in marginal gain. Now let's understand this point in the very first lesson of this video. The first lesson from this book is changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results if you are willing to stick with them for years. This line simply means that to achieve massive success, you don't need massive actions. Small habits done consistently can also lead you where you want to be. But because we do not see the results in 1 or 2 weeks, we find it useless, and somehow we all are guilty of that. There's a quote on consistency in this book, Tools of Titans, that goes like, big changes can come in small packages. To change your life, you don't need to run a 100-mile race, get a PhD, or completely reinvent yourself. It's the small thing done consistently that are the big things. Now the question is, if it is so simple, then why don't we do it? And the answer is also really simple, because we are result oriented. Like, think about it, you are doing something for 2-3 months and you are not seeing any results. It will be hard for you to continue doing that thing, but those who continue see the results. Another thing is, whenever we are learning something new or trying to form a new habit, there's often a valley of disappointment. Now look at this graph to understand better. So look at this line. This is how we suppose the results of habit should happen, in a straight line. But if you look at how it actually happens, you will see at first there's no result, and then there's exponential curve. And the time where you see no results is the valley of disappointment. So what it means is, even you pick small habits and stick with them for years, the process will compound itself and will give you exponential results. It can be anything, from making your bed to walking 15 minutes after every meal. You choose for yourself, but make sure whatever you do it with consistency. This book shows every now and then that why you should put consistency over intensity any day. The second lesson is the 4-step model to adapt new habit. Now this is very interesting. We all know that habits are hard to form, or I should say good habits are hard to form, because unfair word, but we can catch bad habits very easily. But there's simple 4-step formula that will help you form new habits, and keep in mind it is simple, not easy. So the 4-step formula looks like this. First, you have to make the habit obvious. Second, you have to make it attractive to you. Third, you have to make it satisfying, and fourth, it should be easy to do for you. Now let's take an example to understand these 4 points better. Suppose you have a habit of checking your phone after waking up. You know it is bad because आपको पूरे दिन headache रहता है, you feel lazy, आपको अपने around negativity feel होती है, and in general it is bad for your health. So you decide to replace it with a good habit. Now let's say that good habit is you say you will read 2 pages of book before checking your phone in the morning. Now according to the 4-step habit building formula, the first step was to make the habit obvious. So you have to make your reading obvious. How will you make it? By having book right next to you instead of your mobile phone. Because see, if you have your book in some other room, there's no way you are going to read book just after you wake up. Yes, you can do it with the help of motivation for 2-3 days, but it will not become your habit until or unless you make your reading obvious. The second step was to make your habit attractive. Now think about it. You wake up with full motivation कि चलो आज reading करेंगे, and you read a history book that doesn't excite you. Do you think you can continue a reading habit like this? No. You have to read books that excites you, books that you want to read. That will only it will become attractive. The third step was to make it satisfying. Now you can make it satisfying by rewarding yourself. For example, you say, okay, if I read this book for 10 minutes, then I can use my phone. So you will read because you know that you will get rewarded after doing this certain activity. The fourth step was to make it easy. Now let's say you wake up and you decide, okay, I will read 1 chapter every day before I will use my phone. Now there's high chances you will drop that, because there's no way you can just start reading 1 chapter a day. So what you have to do is you have to make the work easy for you. Decide that, okay, I will read 5 pages a day, or 2 pages a day, or even 2 paragraphs a day, whatever is easy for you, and then gradually increase it. This way you can form new habits without facing any big issue, although you will still fail sometimes, but just carry on. The third lesson is to set systems instead of goals. But what's the difference between goals and systems? So goals are the results that you want, and systems are the processes that leads to those results. एक example के साथ समझते हैं. Suppose मुझे 6 महीने में 10 किलो वजन बढ़ाना है. अब मुझे 10 किलो वजन बढ़ाना है, ये मेरा गोल है, बट इसे अचीव करने के लिए मुझे क्या करना होगा? मुझे रोज़ फिजिकल एक्टिविटी करनी होगी, मुझे अपना कैलोरी इनटेक बढ़ाना होगा, मुझे और भी ज़्यादा प्रोटीन कंज्यूम करना होगा, एंड दैट्स हाउ आई विल इंक्रीज माई वेट। और यही जो 3-4 चीज़ें हैं, इसे हम कहते हैं सिस्टम। जो हैबिट्स आपको आपके रिजल्ट्स तक ले जाए, उसे हम कहते हैं सिस्टम। बिकॉज जस्ट बाय सेटिंग गोल्स यू वॉन्ट अचीव इट, बिकॉज इट्स द एंड रिजल्ट. What will get you there is system. Another thing is when you only have goals, you set yourself for unhappiness, because now until you get those 10 kgs of muscle, you won't be happy. Your entire thing is those 10 kgs muscles. But if you have systems, you will feel happy whenever you will complete your physical exercise or your diet, because you know your daily habits are your systems. And if you complete that, you will get those 10 kgs of muscles. So much of fitness related content. Now let's move to the next point. The fourth point is what you see as breakthrough moments are often results of previous actions. This point states that whenever you see someone speaking really well or writing really well or playing an instrument really well, it's not all because of their talent. Yes, it might play some role, but the main role is of their previous actions and habits. Someone who plays guitar really well, he might be playing it since his childhood, but because we do not see how long they have been working on it, we say things like inborn talent and stuff like that. But this point states that whenever you see someone getting big at anything, it is all because of their previous action. Now let's jump to the last and the hardest point, that is to have patience. This habit is hard for every single one of us, because we see everyone around us getting things so quickly. We also want the results of our habit very fast. But this book solely focuses on habits and their benefits when compounded. And we all know from finance content creators that compounding takes time. So just try to have patience and stick with those small habits. I'm also trying, and you should too. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Also do let me know in the comments that what habits are you trying to build. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.